Hello, everybody. It's John Kranz. I want to welcome you to Compass Games Live. It's episode 72 tonight. It's February 24th. Glad to have you with us tonight. And no special guest tonight as far as designer interviews go. So the plan is to do a bridge session tonight to get through it in the next 40 minutes or so instead of going well over an hour. So we're going to try to be short and sweet this week and give you some various updates and of course answer any questions you have about any projects. We'll do our best to get those answered for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up the screen just to give you some quick updates. So just to let everybody know, Paper Wars issue 100 is actually starting to land at people's doorsteps. We're going to formally announce that it's shipping early next week. So we haven't put out any formal announcements yet. That's why we also haven't done the newsletter yet, although we might get a newsletter out tomorrow with various updates for sure. I'll cover a few of them here in a moment. But yes, Paper Wars, you may have received issue 100. If you have, maybe you can post a comment in our comments section. Let us know if you have received Paper Wars yet. If not, delivery is going to be imminent. You're going to receive it within the next week or so, most likely. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, in terms of our release schedule, we presently have War for America is now on Kickstarter. So I was just going to show that here briefly. So thanks. We have 158 backers so far for War for America. Again, if you scroll down near the bottom, you can access the rules of play for the game. As we do with every Kickstarter, we provide the rules, as you can see right here, to get more information. Also, we've added a new update today. We did have some we did have some customer questions since we do have other games published by Compass Games covering the same time period. Can you do a contrast and compare how's War for America perhaps different than our other titles we have? So if you go here and click on read more, again, it's our most recent article. You can see here we talk about Revolution Road, for example. We then get into Commands and Colors Tricorn as another example, and End of Empire. And then we try to summarize it, and I'll make this just a little bit larger just for a moment so you can see this. So we also summarize War for America in the first column with those other two Compass Game products to give you a quick cheat sheet on, what are some common differences in terms of big picture differences, number of maps, game scale, unit scale, playing time, so on and so forth. So again, all this is available again on our Kickstarter page. There's about 5 days left for the Kickstarter for War for America. And again, we really appreciate everybody. If you've pre-ordered the game already, you are all set as always. Kickstarter is just a way for us to get the word out about the game and maybe reach a somewhat of a different audience. So great to see we have almost 160 backers coming through Kickstarter. So we're real excited about that. And what I'll do is I'm going to hold off on other updates for you just for now, because what I'd like to do is just switch over and we're going to bring in Maurice Fitzgerald, or I like to call him Mo, and he's going to give us an update on several things that he's doing for us. So Mo, great to have you here.
Good to see you again, John.
Great to have you here. So what I thought we could do is first, I know just last week you had a learn to play session, which I'm going to actually highlight now. So let me bring up the screen here for a moment, and you can tell us what recently happened. And it looks like the video has been posted as well for replay.
Yeah, the video for the Conquistadors is up there in the learning library. So if you missed the session, you can just go in and watch it at your pleasure and get a good rundown of the game with John. He did a great job running down the game, explaining it, and actually going through a full turn of a game that he had played with his son. So he did a 2-player game, and he kind of just did the recap of it by doing all of the turns and explaining what he did with each of the turns. So it was a really good way of learning the game, I think.
Okay, great. And then somebody just told me that Facebook video isn't working. So
Uh-oh.
apologies to hear that. I'm afraid I can't control that technical issue. There's no way I can go in there. Fingers crossed that people can find the YouTube link. Hopefully it's not too tough for folks over on Facebook to find it. And yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. I'll follow up on that tomorrow and see if we can get that fixed for next week. So thanks. You've done 8. You've got 8 learn to plays in the book, and I think you're considering. You're on the fence. You haven't decided or haven't announced yet what might be coming next. You're working on the schedule moving forward.
Yeah, we're working on the schedule moving forward. We've got several that are lined up. Just have to kind of organize them and make sure they get them all lined up in the proper scheduling for the presenter, and then we'll make the announcement here soon.
Okay, I'm going to cheat and go to my Linktree page for Compass. This is my cheat sheet, everybody. So on our Linktree, and we provide this link, and we use it with a QR code in the rules. This gives us the latest and greatest, because I do have on here, I believe I have the Vassal game modules link right here. Hard to see. It's a little small on screen, but I'll pull this up because I thought we could talk a little bit tonight, because you've really helped assist us to lead the charge on Vassal modules for Compass projects, Compass games. I don't know how many, 50 plus we've probably added, but I believe for the newsletter, which will be going out as early as tomorrow, I believe we have 2 new Vassal modules you're ready to announce tonight?
Yeah, we do. We have 2 new Vassal modules that are already published on the Vassal site, which is Brezhnev's War, NATO versus the Warsaw Pact in Germany, 1980, and the War of the Pacific is also done. So those are both available now on the Vassal site. If you have not gotten them yet, you can get them now.
Great. There's Brezhnev's War, and then the War of the Pacific. Let's see if I guessed right, Howie. Yep, there it is right there. The War Pacific under T's. So this is also another new one. So this is pretty significant because this is a fairly large game. Might need to be kept out. So Vassal comes in very handy for that. That is great news. And tell us, for those, I think everybody knows already, you've got Mo's Game Table channel going on.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can share with us what's happening. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to just go ahead and pull up. I'm going to go to YouTube to Mo's Game channel, your channel, and maybe you can tell us the latest news that's going on in your world, so we can help promote some of the things you're working on here. So I'll just switch over to your channel.
Sure.
And there we are.
Well, I did something new this week. Obviously, we have the Learn to Play up there, but I did a video game, Sniper Contracts 2.
Ah,
I did a couple of videos of that I've played, and I just for fun, I figured why not? Let's just shoot a
yep, can't
video
play.
and
Yep,
post it
yep.
up there.
I can't play because my sound's going to cut off. But Sniper Contracts too. Okay, so
Yeah.
how was it doing what's it like reviewing or doing a computer game versus a board game? Was it much different for you? Is it a different
No, it's the same.
format?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little easier. It wasn't really a
Okay.
review; it was more just playing around, and I was doing it, and I was just doing the commentary and recording it. So it was a recorded play, something different. And a few people already, messaged me, and some people posted on the video that it was, cool to see me do something different. And it's just have fun with it. I mean, if people are bored and they want to sit around and watch you play a video game, and maybe get some tips, and also check out a game that they've not played yet, maybe they'll get motivated to go pick it up. So it's always good to, make sure that everybody sees all the new products that are out there.
That's awesome. Well, kudos from Craig Campbell for you on YouTube. I guess everybody's on YouTube tonight. We're not going to see any Facebook
Yeah.
comments since Facebook's having issues tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, great to see everybody on YouTube tonight. And then Steve's was commenting about the Vassal module for War of the Pacific. Yes, it's a big game. So
Yeah.
absolutely, no question about that. So it's good to have those Vassal modules handy for these bigger games for sure, or
Absolutely.
anybody you're paying remotely that isn't in your area. Let's see. William on YouTube's asking, when Compass has the game on Kickstarter, they do not have a website orders open during that time. Yeah, thanks, Michael, for clarifying. Maybe that question came up in the chat. So as soon as the game goes live in Kickstarter, we shut down the direct orders on our website. So we're just driving everything through the Kickstarter channel. Usually our campaigns are fairly short. I think they run between 12 to 15 days typically, which is on the short end of Kickstarter campaigns. So they go awfully quick, and it's great having Brittany involved now. I mean, we've already done 3 updates for War for America. We're going to have at least a 4th coming later this week as we hit the home stretch. So we're excited about hopefully the information coming through the Kickstarters. You guys are finding better and better, and it's great to be able to provide that. So I'm glad we could do that. And I'm going to keep sticky around here, Mo, because what I want to do is I want to share with people. I'm going to actually post this in the comments section. If everybody hasn't had a chance to do this yet, I think this link will work.
I think some people are already talking about it in the chat. So
yeah, I think so too. So what we've got here for everybody, and again, if obviously you're just in YouTube chat tonight, although I just did post to Facebook. I just did a post to Facebook and it works. I don't know why Facebook channel's acting up. But if you use our bit.ly link, so, and again, you don't have to type the HTTPS. You can skip all that stuff. Just start typing bit.ly, so bit.ly. And then basically the term is GDW top 3. So if you go to this address, if you have a chance to go there, please, that will take you to just a special survey we've got here. So I'll show you just real quick what this looks like. So what we're doing, and we introduced this just a few weeks ago, had discussions with Bill, and he really appreciates the success we had with Red Star White Eagle, which was a GDW project. Obviously the Third World War, which is very apropos these days, I guess. But yeah, that's been just a tremendous response. So we've had some really good, knock on wood luck with GDW titles. So we're sort of taking that SPI role that I wish I could do it with SPI games as well, but we can't for reasons we don't own a license, but we definitely have room to play with GDW. So if you take this survey, I hope everybody's doing it now. I'm just going to put in a test email to show you how painless this is. This is so fast and easy. We're just going to be asking one question, and it's right here. So the way this works, and some people have commented already, why is it I don't see Europa series games on here, or maybe some other war games, historical games from GDW? And there's 2 reasons. One is we don't own the rights. There's no way for us to get permission to do certain GDW titles, and Europa series is probably the best example of that. Would love to have a chance to do those, but we can't touch them. There's no way to do that. And this list also came from Bill Thomas. So Bill went through the historical games left that we potentially could get licenses to, with a focus on what's solitaire friendly. Some titles didn't make the cut because they just don't work solitaire at all. So some games we don't include, and there's some other titles we just sort of passed on for now as well. Doesn't mean we'll never do them. It just means it didn't make the cut for this list. So what we're basically asking everybody to do is pick 3 titles only. So and some of you might say, I can't find 3. That's okay. If you find just 1 or 2, that's fine. But this is a good starting list for us as far as projects we can take on. And so we'd love to get everybody's feedback on this. That would help us a lot. Also want to thank, we've got since 10 minutes ago before we started, amazing. We've got already, amazed because it's such a short, painless survey. So we've already got over 300 responses to the question that's being asked here. So again, there's certain games not on here due to, again, because of licensing rights not being available, or just doesn't make the first cut that we're going to take a whack at all. So that's another reason it's not there. A lot of people commented on, Imperium and other games are just my favorite game from GDW, and I don't see any science fiction games listed at all. And we intentionally left off the science fiction games because we're open to doing pretty much all of them as long as they're solitaire playable, like at least medium or higher rating. So as long as it's not where you have to do a 2-player and you have no choice, as long as you can try to play the game by yourself and it works, we're looking at the entire science fiction catalog. And yes, I know somebody's always asked about Belter, and Belter obviously is under consideration. We just don't need to do a survey on science fiction games right now, because we'll get to those for sure. But what I thought I would do as far as this, so everybody please pick up the 3 choices, submit those, and we'll definitely take a look. And what we'll do is in the next town hall, so a week from tonight with Bill and Billy Thomas, we'll go through the survey results and we'll share like the top 4, top 5 as far as how everybody voted. And again, it's going to be a good segment, I think, of customers voting, since we're already over 300. And yeah, just a few hours, we're already over that amount. So appreciate everybody doing that for us. I also want to announce just real quick that we, so to do this, how do we do this? So these GDW games, we're not looking to do a lot of effort to reinvent the wheel. So an example of that would be Third World War series has a ton of enhancements in the game. Hopefully, if you bought the game and you received it, hopefully we got a thumbs up from you, because you'll notice a ton of enhancements incorporating new markers, counter redesign for certain reasons, displays, rules completely reformatted. We have a single standard rule booklet for 4 games, never been done, obviously, because they were 4 separate releases in the days of GDW. So that was a lot of work. That was a 2-year plus effort by 4 to 5 project team members. So this, literally, the scope of this work will be these GDW titles. It's obviously going to be newly packaged, new box art, new map, new counter work, player aids. Maybe we slip in a player aid here or there to make play better. We work in all the errata, so we'll comb Board Game Geek, Console World Forum, Grognard's site to look at articles, reviews, official errata. We'll hit, we have a list of places we'll hit. But what we're not doing is we're not going to go through these major enhancements and do something that will take us months to get done just to figure out enhancements. We're just going to work in the corrections needed. I talked to Bill, and actually there's exceptions. Like there's a game, for example, on this list, the Great Patriotic. Okay, that's misspelled. I have that was a typo. So you'll see on the list the Great Pacific War. That should be the Great Patriotic War. So that's a bad typo. Not a big deal, because Bill really likes the game. So I can announce now that the Great Patriotic War will be our second project out of this list. It's going to be the second one we're going to do. And Bill's already mentioned, there's a really good variant scenario that was done by somebody, and things like that will work in. Like if it's a good variant scenario and it's something we can quickly get in there and it's out there, we'll go ahead and we'll give it a full game treatment. So there will be little enhancements like that going on. But again, Great Patriotic War. So if nobody votes for it, it's okay, because that title doesn't exist. It's going to be second in line. And then as far as somebody who's already helping us with this effort is now from the Third World War series, the game that we did just recently wrapped up. We had a project team member, Greg Warren. So Greg does very good work, and he's really interested in some GDW titles. So we just spoke in the last few days, and Greg's going to be doing our first GDW project. He's going to take the lead on it. I'll be assisting. And what we're going to be doing, I can announce it, is we're going to do Road to the Rhine first. So Road to the Rhine is going to start next week. That's going to be our first effort for GDW. As I mentioned, the Great Patriotic War will be second. That's something Greg Warren will do as well. Since I'm just starting with Greg, we'll look for anybody who's interested in joining the project team who wants to help us with the GDW Road to the Rhine project. We would love to have extra eyes, extra help. You can definitely help us do that. We'll definitely make announcements. And then maybe we'll find some others. If somebody else out there has a knack and has the time to take on a project, and again, we're not reinventing the wheel. It's going to be a simple project, just work in the errata, things like that. Let me know. And we've got a lot of titles, obviously, as you can see from this list, we want to work with. So I'm excited that we're going to work with Greg Warren. And then, of course, we had on the team Chris Fawcett, but Chris is busy doing his own designs. He just did Fall of Tobruk. And based on that system, he's doing, I believe it's called Winter's Victory, if I got the title right, which is going to be the Crusader campaign. So he's got a new design he's working on. So what's really nice is we not only have a bunch of new Third World War games coming out, because we have a project team member who's in charge of that. So we're going to have all these new, like Manchurian Front. There's going to be all these new Third World War games coming out, new designs. But also now we have Greg Warren, who's going to do a Road to the Rhine and Great Patriotic War for us. And Chris Fawcett's too busy, so he can't join us because he's doing his own designs. But again, I'd be happy to welcome anybody else who wants to take a stab at a GDW game design. We'd love to do that. Maybe I'll twist your arm, Mo. Maybe if you want to dip your toes in the water of doing a little game project here. We got some Series 120 games in here. We got some small ones we can start with. Maybe I can twist your arm. But I'm open to finding help, you know.
Well, I know that. So Road to the Rhine is the first one. That was one of the ones on my list.
Okay. So you voted already, right?
Oh, yeah, I already voted. I got Road to the Rhine.
You can't influence anybody who hasn't voted yet. We got to be careful there.
Everybody knows the first one, so.
That's right. And so Road to the Rhine, and then that's going to take a little time. It's probably going to be a few months before we wrap it up. And then the Great Patriotic War, Greg Warren will take on that. So those two are sort of claimed as far as a project lead. Everything else is sort of open right now for sure. But we're looking forward. And then we always get outside proofers involved and all that. So we're excited. So that's why we're doing the survey. So that's why we'd welcome you to pick the top 3 out of this list. Again, science fiction games will be covered as well. And any games missing that were historical, we might take a look at them later. It's just we got to start somewhere. So that's sort of the story on that. And with that, Mo, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad I could get somebody in here tonight, so not everybody's stuck with me for the evening. That would be torture. So I don't want to do that. Before I let you go, let me just make sure, see if there's any final questions for you, Mo. I think they commented about your channel, and I think they know that you're going to announce the Learn to Play series soon. This is not really a formal survey, so I would put it this way: give it your best shot. But we've got over 300 people that already voted already. It's not going to matter if your vote's off a little bit. And as you can see, we've already got 2 projects. We've already got earmarked, one starting next week. So we're going to try to move fast on these. So I wouldn't worry too much if you didn't get the vote right. We'll still talk about other GDW games for sure. So I wouldn't worry about that, Larry, too much. And then Darren over in Petaluma. Yes, Darren, we're definitely going to do those sci-fi games, as I mentioned. We're just not going to list them because we don't need to. We don't need any input right now. I'm sure we'll come back later for input, but that's something we'll do. And then definitely, I like projects that have I like games that have bad rules issues. So that's okay. That doesn't scare me at all. That's an opportunity, right?
I think Shin just volunteered for that one. He's saying it is badly in need of a major rules rewrite.
I think he says he's going to fix it, and I think that's a good idea. I think he's got a legal background too. I don't know. No, Shin, I'm thinking of our Petaluma our contact. But yeah, Shin, you're welcome to, if you want to help with Crimea, that's on Bill's list here, as you can see. And I actually prefer games that have a lot of rules problems, because then it's an easier marketing sell if we're really fixing something that's broken. So happy to do that. And where's the survey? Again, I'm going to post the URL here. Let me see if I can find it first of all. It's right here. So what you want to do is, again, just start typing bit.ly and -GDW top 3. Put that in, and that will take you straight to the survey. And you'll find the survey link on Discord. You'll find the survey link posted on the Consum World forum. You'll find the survey link on our official Facebook page and the Constant World community, a bunch of places. So I'm starting to get the survey out there, but we'll probably close it, within 48 hours, just because we've had so many great responses. And Tim's already making his picks. Hopefully they're in the survey, so we can capture them in the survey. Want to have that, but yes, Road to the Rhine is first up. So we're looking forward to doing that. Suez 73, I believe I need to talk to Bill about that. I don't think it made the cut for some reason, so I will have to look into that one. That's one that probably should be on the list, but again, like I said, if it's not there, don't worry too much, because that one is solitaire playable. Suez 73. It's like White Death, basically. So yeah, we could definitely look at Suez 73 as well. I'll make a note about Suez 73 that we can look at that. So and this one I screwed up this one. That should be the Great Patriotic War, but we're going to do it anyway. So forget about my typo. That's probably the best place to have a typo, to do that wrong. And can Compass get Frank Chadwick games that maybe didn't come? I guess the question is, if it's not a GDW stable title, which is all done through Mark Miller, yes, we can work directly with Frank if he owns the rights for the game. That's definitely something we can do. Absolutely. So yeah, we can definitely do that. Thanks for everybody. I see everybody's listing some games in here. So thanks for putting your votes in. That helps us a lot. And we'll give updates on this GDW effort. And hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 volunteers that will help us take on some projects as well. So looking forward to that. All right, Mo, you're off the hook.
All right. Thanks. Good to see you, John.
Take care. Thank you so much.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. So let's move on. I want to give you some other updates. So what I want to focus on is some updates to our website, which has to do with some game projects. So the first thing I want to announce, let me just take a moment to share my screen again, is we have the lamps are going out back on order. So this game is going to be shipping in April, so a little more than a month from now. So we are now taking orders again for this game. We're going to have it back in stock. It's going to be shipping in April. So again, just a reminder that you can go to our website and you can go ahead and today place your order for the lamps are going out. Also, same holds true for NATO. So NATO, same date, available in April 2022, just like I showed you for the lamps. So these 2 games are now officially back on order on our website. So you can place an order and the game will be shipping out in a little more than a month from now. It'll be shipping during the April timeframe. Both games will be shipping restocked in April. So I just want to make sure to get that information out to you all, that's important, that we do have games back on order because the restocks are coming through. Next thing I want to talk about is the game. And I don't know if anybody's commented yet. So if you have a chance, if you're getting Paper Wars 100, I'd be curious to see if you received Paper Wars 100. Let me know. Let me know if you, for example, have the game, if you have a current subscription, which is going to end with this one, by the way. The current subs ends with Paper Wars 100. This one right here, Inkerman. So I'd be curious to learn from you if you have a current subscription, if you're going to be, if you've received the magazine yet or not, because I did see 1 or 2 posts come through on Facebook the other day that they were showing pictures of Inkerman. So what we've done with Inkerman is several things. We've added so this is new, what we've added to the website. So we've added the table of contents. So if you want to learn more about Paper Wars 100, again, you have the full table of contents there in the left column. Want to make sure you knew that was available. We also added the game map. The game map was not on the website, so you can get a real good feel here for what the game map looks like. So we've added that to the website as well. And we've got the counter sheet. And the counter sheet includes the expansion. It's about 70, I believe it's around 70 counters we added for America Bomber for the expansion we did. Above that, and let me see if I can just highlight this for a moment. So where the little blue circle is, a magnifying glass, this area right here are some corrected counters, errata counters. They were cosmetic errors. Basically, a color may have been off or a designation. Maybe the unit size was off by 1. Nothing that would affect play. like necessarily when you're playing with the counters, but something was a minor cosmetic error. So what we did was we have provided these cosmetic corrections for the Barlev counters. And by the way, that was by Chris Fawcett. I was talking about Chris earlier, that he was part of the Third World War series team, and he's been on. He recently did that broadcast with us and the team members. And he's busy. He's got Fall of Tobruk already done. We're just waiting on the game maps to arrive in the warehouse. We're still waiting on the maps. I checked with Bill on that this week, so we're still waiting. That hasn't changed. And then he's going to be working on, I believe it's called Winter's Victory. I just know it covers Operation Crusader using the Fall of Tobruk game system that he's devised, which I'm just really excited about that whole system. And again, the rest here you see in here is America Bomber. Now, I did want to add a note on America Bomber, and that is, please go to our website. And on our website, for every single product that we have a download section. And you want to click on that. And the reason we want to do this is the expansion for America Bomber. We've got the counters, we've got the expansion rules, but you're going to need some displays and a single player aid card. And that is right now, that's downloadable. So you want to go to this download link, and you can see here, here exactly is what I'm talking about. So these are the displays, and FYI, we don't do inserts. So we never do, typically, we don't do any type of a hardback insert like a player card. We don't put those in the Paper Wars. It's going to be the map and counters, and that's it. So the idea is this was going to be in the pages of the magazine, which I know that makes it difficult to tear out or photocopy. So I think it's probably easier in the end. You can take this PDF and maybe put this on cardstock versus just paper. That'd be the way to handle these, because these are the displays or the markers. And again, this is just the expansion. This is that bonus part of Paper Wars where you can do an American Bomber expansion. So definitely recommend just getting a printout of that, putting it on a harder paper stock, and then the final file here is the player aid card. So there is a single player aid card that goes with it as well. And again, just make sure that you download it so you can have that printed again on heavy cardstock is the best solution for that. So I just want to make sure you knew that that was available and how you could get it. So again, that's from our issue 100 on our product page. We've got, again, more information about the game, and then the download section has the added material for it as well. Okay, so we've covered that. So let's see what is next we want to cover. So we talked about War for America. So another update. So let's go back to our release schedule for a moment. I think it's just worth doing that before I go to Barbarian at the Gates. So as a reminder, I'm really going to zoom in here so we can see this a lot better. So let's talk about what games are coming out. And that's going to be in the left column here. So we've got Paper Wars 100, which again is starting to land, already landing for people. Then War for America, which is our current Kickstarter campaign with those updates that we've been issuing. I'm going to talk here a little bit about Barbarians at the Gates. I want to give you a quick update on that. And then also scrolling down to Enemy Action Kharkov as well. So all these games are basically going to be released in the order that you see here over the course of the next few months. But these are pretty much in the order that they're going to be coming out. So we definitely have War for America will be next after the magazine, and then Barbarian at the Gates is what I want to get back to. So for Barbarians at the Gates, what we've done here is we've added a lot of information to the product page for the first time. So we've now got the back of the box finally. So the game's shipping pretty soon, but we were light on artwork, I will admit, on the website. So I'm not going to spend too much time going through all this again to keep the overall broadcast short tonight. I'm not going to go through these in great detail. I just want to give you all a heads up that we have a lot of new images and graphics up about Barbarians at the Gates. It comes with a mounted game map. So here's the mounted game map as well. So this is up here for the first time as well. So I think that's worth saying. And then I've added also some of the counter sheets, just the front sides of the counter sheets really, and some sample cards. And then we've got some player aid cards. We didn't have this before. I thought this was interesting to share. So I went ahead and also put up some select, not all of the player aid cards, but just to give you a flavor for the game, I thought this would be helpful. So you can see some of these 2 player aid cards. I think there's 3 or 4 total in the box. I'm showing 2 of them here, but definitely I think, check that out when you get a chance. But again, that's all there. And I think the back of the box always has a lot of good information on it to sort of give you a synopsis about what the game's all about. So that's Barbarian at the Gates. Same is true for Enemy action Kharkov. So enemy action Kharkov, as a reminder, if you look at our list, it's down here. It's about at the midpoint section. So after Russian campaign and after Russian campaign and the African campaign deluxe mounted map edition ship, then we're getting to enemy action Kharkov. So again, we want to have more artwork available for you. So what we did here was, for the first time, we added all the different game maps in the back of the box. So we now have the back of the box for you that you can definitely get some more information, scroll in on, get a real good look at it, get more information about the game for sure. And then we've also added the 3 game maps. So there's 3 game maps total that we'll have. So you'll see here, you can zoom in and look at, there's the solitaire mode maps, and then there's the face-to-face mode maps. So here's this this is the Soviet solo map. Before that, this was, I believe, the 2-player map right here. And then the last one would be the German solo map. Oh, I'm sorry, here's the 2-player map right here. So the first one was German. Second one was the Soviet. You'll see it all for yourself. So you've got separate maps based on the solitaire mode you're going with, or in this case, the 2-player map that I'm showing here. So these are here as of today for the first time. So definitely gives you a chance to take a closer look at enemy action Kharkov as it gets ready. Also, we've put up some of the counter sheets. So again, just some JPEGs of the front sides only, just to give you a flavor of what the game looks like. Again, for those that are have enemy action Ardennes already, this will be nothing new to you. This will look very similar to you as far as the artwork goes, and the various markers that are used for the solitaire play as well. So definitely check those out. We want to make sure we got some more artwork up for you guys, typical markers that you need for the game as well. So we provided a smattering of these counter sheets as well. So again, back of the box, all 3 maps, some counter sheet front sides for you. Hopefully that gives you a much better flavor or idea of what's coming down the pike. And then finally, we did one more for Death in the Trenches. A lot of people are looking forward to Death in the Trenches. That's coming up shortly as well. So what we did add for Death in the Trenches, if you go to that product page again, and we try to do this for every game, is we added the back of the box. So you can come in here, get the information about Death in the Trenches, get some more information about the artwork for the game. Also, we had this up already. We had the 2 maps. So you've got the 2 maps that come with the game, but we added these counter sheets for the first time. Again, this is sort of a low-res JPEG image, so but you'll get an idea of the quality of the counters. These will be printed overseas with those rounded edges to them that we traditionally do for these mounted deluxe games. So again, we've got these counter sheets now posted on the website along with the back of the box. So definitely check this out. I added the battle board, by the way. There is a battle board display. I don't want to go that big on here, but there is a battle board display you can check out as well. For Death in the Trenches, we've added that to our product page as well. So you're just going to have more information about various games. And we tried to focus in on those games that are going to be coming soon based on our schedule that I just went through here on the left column. So we'll keep adding more artwork as we can. Absolutely. We want to make sure you see as much about the game as you can. And then obviously nearly all these games, with a few exceptions. I know we already did we did the Russian campaign Kickstarter already, so we're not going to do another Kickstarter for that. But for these other games, they'll be going on Kickstarter. And of course, we'll provide the rules in PDF format. And you'll have the unboxing video that Julian Thomas does. So we'll definitely have a lot more information for you for these games here as they get closer, as they become available. So let's see here. So just want to go through some comments real quick. So I'm going to open it up. So we're going to, as I promised, I want to keep things short and sweet for y'all tonight, since we don't have a designer interview. There will be a designer interview next time we're live in 2 weeks. So we'll have a longer session next time. So yes, I hope I managed the information we've posted on the website for Barbarian the Gates is helpful. Got the back of the box on there. We've got the map board for the first time, showing some of the player aid cards as well. Has some good flavor to it. I think you might like that. So happy to get that up for you. So thanks for letting me know. Yep, Death in the Trenches. A lot of people have been waiting quite a while for Death in the Trenches. It comes up during the town halls the past few months. So we're excited to get more information up about it. And of course, Bill was excited to be able to take orders again for lamps and NATO, that the restock's coming, and we'll be shipping those in April. Beneath the Southern Cross is coming along very well. I checked the project site, and we've got the designer Bill Cooper working with Bruce Urian, and they talked as recent as yesterday. So I always check the projects to make sure we've got a steady flow of progress. So what they're working on right now, because I checked earlier today, is there's going to be, it's almost like the size of a player card, like a playing card. And what it is, it's they're called air basing cards. So for all the airfields, and the same holds true for all the aircraft carriers that can have obviously planes on them. We're going to have these sort of play card size. I don't know how to really explain them. I know that it was done with Michael Rush's World War One game, 1914 Twilight in the East. I think he called them sleds. So it's like a little nice material sled. So basically it's something you can move and position wherever you want, but then counters go on top of it. I don't know if this sled concept is making sense what I'm saying here, and I can't really show it. Well, maybe I can show it. I'll show it to you guys because I can show it. So let me show you what I mean by sleds. So I'm not sharing my screen yet because I want to navigate to Beneath the Southern Cross. So let me do that just for a moment. And I'll show you here what I mean by that. So let's go here. Yeah, here's maybe a good example. So I'm going to pull up for you what I meant by this here. So I'm going to share my screen now. So hope this helps, Craig. So again, we're working on various components for the game, obviously. So what this is, think of this as a small card. So this is in landscape mode. And what it is, you've got for the Shoho, the light carrier, Japanese carrier, and for Rakata Bay, which is a numbered airfield. So you've got a bunch of airfields, of course. Think about flat top, all the different airfields. So they're going to have different capacities, obviously, as carriers go, and then as far as the airfields go. And you can see there's even mnemonics that tracks. Sorry, I can't make the screen bigger here. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, I can't make it bigger. But so basically, let me download it and see if it opens so you can see a better view of it. So I'll try to do it that way. So here, maybe this helps a little bit now. If I can zoom in a little bit more so you can see it better. So here what's happening is it's a little player card. It's now landscape mode. It's good material. What happens is you're going to put the counters and markers on top of each distinct, what do we call sleds? Playing card sleds. And you have to track statuses of all the airfields and the carriers. And it's a great way. It's really user-friendly. You can pick it up, grab it on the side and move it somewhere on your playing table, and you'll have a whole series of these things set up. So this is absolutely the latest of what's going on with the project. So the maps have been worked on already, work on the counter artwork, but this has a ton of components. This is a mega game as far as components go. It's a really detailed simulation. Like a la flat top. Again, we're really excited about it. It's not on the pre-order page yet, by the way, everybody. If you're looking for it on pre-order, we're not far enough along yet. We have to get to about 90% completion rate on the artwork, short of the rules, obviously. If we can get 90% of the artwork done, then we'll pull the trigger and get the pre-order going and get Bill Cooper on for an interview about this game. So I hope that helps to share a little bit of thanks for the question again about Beneath the Southern Cross. It's a game I'm really excited about because my best personal gaming experience was an all-nighter flat top back in the 90s, which I'll never forget. So I'm really looking forward to the game myself. Spring Prelude's coming along really well. So the designer, Greg, I don't know if he's on tonight, but Greg's been posting updates on it, play testing. I've seen the Vassal screenshots of Spring Prelude, for example. So maybe what we can do on that one. It's not a project that I oversee, so I can't really bring up the latest and greatest data on it like I am able to do it Beneath the Southern Cross. But absolutely, we can do that with Bill next week. Battle Hymn Volume 2 is coming along. I think Bill mentioned in the last town hall that we're looking to wrap things up with a new artist. So we have an artist working on it. And then Carrier Battles is in the same mode with, I believe the artist is Knut Grunitz for Carrier Battles. And that is the one by John Southard. I believe that's the one you're referencing here. And yes, that was from Victory Games originally, that concept, Philippine Sea. So that one is coming as well. This is not the Carrier Battles by Rising Sun Simulations, by the way. I talked about that a few weeks ago, and I believe that designer is going with somebody else. It's a very complex, ultra complex game, I believe, very detailed, but a good game in its own right. But I'm talking here about the John Southard game, just to be clear. Brother in Arms, I believe that's one of those games that's done that we're waiting to receive. So I'm just going based on my memory. I do not recall seeing this as a finished, completed game in the warehouse yet. So I believe it's just a matter of getting that printed and receiving it. So, but I'm not aware that there's a lot of work going on with the game. I believe it may have wrapped up already. Hopefully that was super helpful regarding maybe what I just showed for Beneath the Southern Cross. You guys are going to really like Beneath the Southern Cross. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's going to be a very good game, I'm sure. Yeah, so just some comments here I'm going through. Grumbling Grognard, thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, Russian campaign would have been out already, but we found a big snafu with the game map. So we, on our own dime, we had to reprint the mounted game maps for Russian campaign. And, the maps are on the way and it's already on the schedule. So we're looking forward to getting Russian campaign out. That's a matter of fact, that's a game I'm going to play with my 15-year-old son to introduce him to the hobby. I'm holding off on war games for him until I can do this Russian campaign with him. And yeah, Fall of Tobruk, we're waiting on the game map for Fall of Tobruk still. So hopefully we'll receive it in the warehouse soon. Actually, it's 2 maps, I believe. It's not a single map game. It's a double map game. And African campaign's going to be great. That's the one that has the mounted game map. And Greg Blanchette, Greg, the designer for Spring Preludes, commenting here about his project that the artist is working on it. I've seen the Vassal module as mentioned already. So great news there. Yeah, thanks for the comment about those sleds. So Bruce Yerian, who did the Third World War series and who's done about 100 games probably, and he's done a bunch of games for Compass. I've worked with him with Gregory Smith projects and other projects. I'm working with Bruce on 3 or 4 projects right now, and that's a big project he's taken on, Beneath the Southern Cross. And I love the sled concept. It's very flexible. It's very cool. And I'm going to dig it when it comes. I'm really going to enjoy that. So thanks for the kind comments on that, Craig. Thanks for joining us. What game is this? So let me go back to see if I can help with that. So we're talking about Beneath the Southern Cross, and this is an impromptu discussion about the game. So let me see if I can show you some better information about the game. So I will be happy to do that for you. So let me give you an idea what it looks like first of all. So this is the proposed box art. So in the elevator pitch on this game, Casca 666 on YouTube think of this as flat top, but updated with its own design system, its own game design. In other words, this new design by Bill Cooper was inspired by flat top. A lot of people love flat top, no question about it. And I think it was just played at PresCon. I think Ardwolf Lair, was playing flat tops. Really great game. But this is a new design that's based on that, inspired by flat top. It's got 2 maps and very detailed, a lot of scenarios. This is the cover for it. It's the carrier battles in the Solomon Islands, 1942. So I hope that helps. As far as game files go, yeah, we've got some counters. I mean, the counters are very early on right now, but you can see the counters here. I'll bring them up. So here are the counters. I think I showed this a few. They're the counters are very nice, by the way. So imagine, if you will, you got the Akagi here, Akagi, Kaga, all those, and you've got those sleds. I showed you those sleds just a few minutes ago. So you're going to have those sleds associated with these counters during play, which I think is just a really cool way to track things. So no pencil markers. There might be logs for aircraft for missions and things like that, but no, we're going to use the sleds for all the airfields, all the individual land-based airfields, and then of course sea-based carriers are going to have those sleds. So I hope this whets your appetite. I'm going to save a lot of this for Bill Cooper, to be fair to him. So that's Beneath the Southern Cross. So I hope that's something you're going to be looking forward to very much. So it's definitely flat top on steroids, but it's not like on steroids like complexity wise. It's just in terms of, we've had a few decades to do more with components and approaches to make the gameplay much easier. And that's what we did with Third World War series. We approached that huge project of 4 games in one, and just try to simplify and make it a bigger joy to play the game, which I think hopefully people are finding out that's the case. Roma Victrix, yeah, that one's I think we talked about that last week in the town hall. Bill can talk about it again, but that one's coming along. I think there were some last minute changes being made to it, I think from the scenario standpoint, perhaps for solitaire play. I think Bill is best to comment on that. That's one of those projects I'm not directly involved in. I can definitely talk about the Troubles. That's a project I'm working on. And Troubles was actually sort of wrapped up just a few months ago. But and speaking with the designer, and I think the designer himself realized, I think I can do more around the solitaire game system. He learned pretty quickly at Compass. We're very sensitive to solitaire play, and every project that we look at it through the lens of solitaire playability. What can we do to make it sing as best possible with a good true voice for solitaire play? And that's what happened with the Troubles. So right now, the designer and his crack team, they're going through and deciding how to improve the solitaire playability of the game. So that's what we're doing with that one. Let's see. Aaron Armour. Aaron Armour pretty much is going through wrap-ups right now. So we're going to be doing the rules layout work. All the play testing is pretty much wrapped up. You saw the special solitaire rules that actually solitaire rules work for two-player head-to-head play. You use those sort of like limited intelligence rules, but it works for a two-player game. And I know Bruce Maxwell, if you caught that interview, we actually did a special session on on Aaron Armour rather, and we actually did like an introduction to the game system, and that's something you'll find on our YouTube channel. We did that special Compass Games live episode with Fred Schwartz, the developer, and Bruce Maxwell, where they went through a full game turn of the intro scenario for Aaron Armour. So I thought that was real good. Yeah, definitely TRC is going to be great for that. 1812 is coming along. I believe it's already been printed actually. So I believe we showed the game in a town hall just a few months ago that Bill showed it. So it's a completed design. So we're looking forward to getting 1812 on the schedule for sure. Nah, we don't want to call it Flat Top 2 Deluxe because we don't really own the rights. And also, I think it would be a problem calling it Flat Top 2 because the design is a completely new design. It's just inspired by Flat Top, obviously subject matter and the scale of the game, but the rules are different, etc. So that's why we really didn't want to call it. We'll mention Flat Top maybe in the marketing material. Maybe it is when we do the pre-order page finally for that one. We'll mention that. But yeah, that's sort of where we are on that one. Let's see. I think this question's for me. When did I start playing? Don't wait too long. Oh, for my son. Yeah, my son he's in the PlayStation 4 big time. So yeah, I'm gonna get him. I think I'm gonna get him onto Paper War games. So we're gonna start with Russian campaign. Then I'm gonna do Imperial Tide. We're gonna switch to World War One. I want to do one game a month with my son. So that's sort of the plan to do there. Let's see here. Just looking through here. Yeah, thank you, Craig, for Beneath the Southern Cross. Definitely going to be a must buy. Absolutely. That's the plan on that one. Let's see here. Let's see. This is going to be a study game. I wouldn't say this is a solitaire game, to be honest, Vince. It is in the spirit of Flat Top. It is limited intelligence, and that's really the beauty of the game. Limited intelligence and the I've played Flat Top, so I know the adrenaline rush you get when you discover what could be a composition of enemy forces is unparalleled. I think it's sort of like flying a plane. It's sheer hours of boredom by seconds of madness when you locate what's possibly that enemy strike force and you send your aircraft at it. So this would be like a study. Like I would still play the game solitaire because I want to learn the game. I want to learn to play Beneath the Southern Cross. It's going to be a beautiful looking project, by the way, as you probably saw from just the sneak peek I gave of some of the components there. So I'm gonna set it up solitaire, but yeah, I'll try to find a face-to-face playthrough of it as well. No, it's just the Solomon campaigns of 42, Solomon Islands of 42, just to let you know. And yeah, sort of what Stigler says here. There's really no way to water it down. I mean, I don't think there's it would be a completely different design. It'd be sort of like doing Ambush by Victory Games. You would have to really do a dedicated design. You wouldn't be able to retrofit a good solitaire system on something like a Flat Top. It just, wouldn't really work. And thanks for confirming. Yeah, Solomon's 42. But I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll have a really good discussion with Bill Cooper because think of we're going to have so many components we'll have to review with him and go through the design. It's going to be a little crazy, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. And yes, as Stigler says, we don't like the screw it up thing, that sort of goes back to like these reprints we do, like for Rush Show, for the Red Star, White Star, which was that one of my favorite GDW games by far. David Williams, the designer, Red Star, White Eagle. Sorry, had the title wrong. So Red Star, White Eagle by GDW, absolutely one of my favorite games. And I know we sold out the game now, so I'm sad. But that was a great project because, as I mentioned earlier, we like taking game rules that are sort of a mess or just anything that was broken. This game was not broken. Red Star, White Eagle is an awesome game if you have the original GDW. But they did have one fatal flaw. The order of appearance card was completely, they screwed the pooch on it by accident. So you couldn't use the campaign setup or order appearance card. So that was a nice quick win for us for GDW's Red Star White Eagle, that we didn't mess with the game system at all. We didn't change any rules. No rules were changed at all for this GDW title. Same with the Third World War series, pretty much untouched, but we added so many enhancements for gameplay. We had to cover it in the rules, obviously. But we don't like to come in as a publisher and say, "Oh, I gotta pump my chest as Compass Games, and I'm gonna change this great game," just because I have to. We're not going to do that. If the game stands on its own, we'll just fix what could be fixed, and that's what's going to happen with the GDW games. We're going to do these basically as reprints, but with the errata worked in, all new artwork. And as Bill mentioned to me about the Great Patriotic War by Frank Chadwick, yeah, if there's a variant scenario that came out later that we can get a hold of, yeah, why not include it in the package as well? So that's I agree, Stigler, wholeheartedly with what you're saying. We don't force solitaire on games. We just have discussions about this is the design, how it was done. It's not a pure solitaire game, but what things could be done to enhance it for solitaire play. And that's what's happening with the Troubles right now. They're not changing the game for what it is. They're just focusing on what can you do for solitaire playability. That's pretty much all it's looking at. American Tank Ace is at the printers. That's been at the printers for a while. So we'll have Greg on when we get closer to putting the game on our release schedule. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if any of you have experiences with game companies that have taken a game, maybe used the same title, and completely muffed it up. 5-iron, Into the Woods, Into the Lake. People get so anxious. I got to put my footprint to make this game better. And again, unless it's an obvious error and you guys are smart, you guys already post online, we can figure out what was wrong with the game, but we're not going to we'll call it a new game. We'll call it a new game design. If a designer wants to redo a game, we'll do that. But yeah, we're not gonna mess with a game just because we think we have to. We're not gonna do that. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks, Stigler. Flat top, you know that feeling, right? You know how that feeling goes. Sorry, we can't do the same for SPI, guys. I have a huge SPI collection. That's sort of what I do, and I would love to do SPI titles, but yeah, it's not going to happen. But GDW has a lot of really good games, so we're excited about the GDW titles. We're going to be working with Greg Warren and maybe you guys, maybe one of you want to step forward and we'll work together. Let's see. And then I think I've got all the comments here. I think I'm caught up with everybody here. Let me just make sure. Let's see. Western Front Ace, by the way, is wrapping up. That's a huge Gregory Smith World War I. I think it involves 7 or 8 countries, and all the artwork's done for that project. I know Greg asked Ian Wedge to do one last thing for him, and I believe it's all wrapped up. So we're basically at getting the rules laid out. Nadir is doing the helping us with the project. So Nadir is doing the rules layout work. Nadir does great work. He also works with Adam Starkweather projects, I believe, most recently. But Nadir does great work. Greg enjoys working with Nadir as he did. He likes working with Bruce Urian as well. We like working with all our artists. So is there a link to what GDW titles are available? Unfortunately not. I could probably, share a screen of basically what I know is available, put it to you that way. So let me just share with you and then we'll call it a night. I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So this is sort of where this came from, in other words. I'm happy to share that with you really quick. So let me zoom in. If maybe I can zoom in and make this bigger. I'm not sharing my screen yet. So what I've got here to share with you all is I work with Mark Miller directly on games. That's why we've done a few games already that had sort of out of the GDW stable. Third World War series needs no introduction. That's an example of that. But here's the list of, this is just the historical games. There's also sci-fi games and other things. But here's the list of games. The ones that are crossed out are with the designer, so we wouldn't be able to touch them. So basically what we've done here is Bill Thomas was able to highlight games he'd like me to focus on first. So this is the list of historical games by GDW that we're looking at. So the ones that are highlighted are the ones that came up in that survey that I just shared with you all. And again, sci-fi games we're looking to do as well. It's just we don't need to highlight, and we don't need to know right now which sci-fi games to do first. I know Beltor was mentioned, and Imperium and others like that. We'll take a look at those for our efforts around science fiction as well. But yeah, that's where that list came from. I hope that helps. Tank leader, Dennis, I'm going to get the name wrong. T. Quam, who's one of the designers. He was the designer of Desert Steel. He's helping us with the project, and he was actually occupied for the past few weeks. Real life intrudes, and this project is one of those projects where real life has intruded on multiple project members. So all the artwork's done, the maps are done, the counter sheets are done, all the displays are done. What's left is we're updating the draft rules. And Mr. Kwan, again, is one of the designers. He's the designer of Desert Steel, and he needs to go through the draft rules to make sure we've got it updated correctly. And again, this is for Eastern Front Tank Ace, but there's updated rules in Tank Leader or Desert Steel that would be a better fit for our Eastern Front new release, because the rules were just better done. So what's going on right now is we're going through that prolonged editing phase to make sure we've got the latest updated draft, and then we can get on with it and hopefully get the game. I want to get that game out, obviously. Panzerkrieg, again, just waiting on the artist. That's going to be done overseas by Masahiro Yamasaki, who also did the Japanese 6 angles version of the game. So he's going to be starting. I was hoping he could start in December, but looks like more like it's going to be end of Q1 that he'll start working on that game as well. Thanks for the kind words, Holden. Yeah, looking forward to these designs as well. So thank you so much. We're going to stop here, everybody. I hope I hope what we covered tonight was helpful. Sorry again, I couldn't have a guest on tonight to ease the pain for you all. It was good to have Maurice Fitzgerald on. He's done a lot for us around Learn to Plays, around the video. Go to our video link. You'll see a bunch of videos around each game. He helped us with that. And he's done so much great things for us. We really appreciate it. So I'm just twisting his arm now. Maybe I'll have him do a GDW project just for kicks, just to harass him. But again, thanks everybody for completing the survey for GDW. It's nice to get some feedback. We'll share the feedback next week for our town hall meeting. Check out the website for updated artwork. Please get your orders in for Lamps and NATO. It's going to they'll both ship in April when they're restocked again, and we're just excited to be getting those games out again. So with that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. As always, I like to say a safe weekend. It's usually been about what we're dealing with this pandemic, but now a certain group of people I hope will also have a very safe weekend overseas, Eastern Bloc, because they're going through hell right now. So fingers crossed things work out in the end, and there'll be as little suffering as possible going on in the world. And that's what we always hope for, I believe, as a group. So thank you, everybody. We're really looking forward to our session next week. Catch us next Thursday with Bill and Billy Thomas. Also, if you're interested, I've spoken to the project team for the Third World War series. If you have the game and you're having a little trouble getting over the hill, getting started with the game, we'll be happy to consider a sort of a members only. If you own the game, we'll do a special tutorial session answering your questions, any and all questions about the Third World War series. If you'd like to do a special session on the Third World War and you have that game, that's something I'm considering setting up with the project team. So let me know if that's of interest to you. You can email me at john@compassgames.com, and I'll look forward to hearing from you if that's of interest. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I'll see you next week for our town hall session. Bye, everybody.